I'm very happy we decided to do co-op.
I would imagine it would change the combat quite a bit. What's that like compared to if you do play by yourself?
It's in the game you can play solo as well, but then you have an AI companion. And we try to mirror that experience as close as possible to the co-op experience. So even if you play solo, your companion will also assist you and help you in combat, of course. But it's always a little bit more fun when you play together with another person and a friend.
Right, you can have a lot of that synergy, working together, flanking. With the story elements in the previous Wolfenstein games, how does this one stand apart or is different than previous Wolfenstein games?
It is different. You know, first the big difference is that you don't play as BJ Blazkowicz in this game. You still play as a Blazkowicz, as you play one of BJ's twin daughters, and they are of course equally tough and cool. But the storyline then differs in the sense that it's further into the future. Mm-hmm. So the twin daughters are 18 at the time of the game, so it's set in the 1980s. And yeah, so that's I would say is the big difference.
It was, I mean, I gotta say, it's such a smart thing to like you just describe the main characters, and it's like what you would put on the box, like 2 ass-kicking, Nazi-killing twin sisters. Like
that's exactly what they are.
That's all you have to put on the box, and I'm in.
And they learn from the very best.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the very best, the man, yeah.
Now, back there when we were talking, you told me that the story is actually non-linear. How do you experience moving through the game in a non-linear way? It's
been one of the big challenges for us to, of course, the co-op aspect. We have never done that before. But we also add this, this is actually the first time we have that open-ended structure in the game. But it also makes it a lot more, for me at least, a lot more fun to play when you play co-op. You can do missions in any order you want. You can communicate with your friend and decide what do we do next. What area do we take on after this one? And it gets a little bit more dynamic experience in that sense. But of course, we also have to be aware of the story. We still have a narrative that will follow through in the game. So that's been somewhat a challenge, but I'm very happy with the result.
One of the things I really enjoyed about playing through the previous Wolfenstein was when the difficulty was all the way up, it was tough as nails, like really super hard, like almost like, FU hard. How did that come into play when dealing with a co-op and an AI and stuff? I'm sure there's different things you had to consider.
It is. It is a little bit easier when you play together with a friend. So we scaled down the difficulty a little bit behind the scenes in solo play.
Okay.
So what we have now, I feel, is pretty close to being on par with each other. So, but of course, we still have a lot of difficulty settings, so you can lift it up. If you really want to play FU hard mode. And we also, another really good thing about this game is that actually your companion, your co-op player, can actually lower or raise the difficulty individually, and it doesn't affect your gameplay.
Oh, really?
So you can actually, one can actually play on easy and you play on hard, and when you play together.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's actually kind of cool. Like if I'm playing with my little brother or something like that.
Exactly.
Oh wow. All right.
Or if your little brother is more proficient than you, then you can step down a bit.
Yeah, I don't even know why I said that. I could be playing with any other gamer, and I'd be like, I'm going to turn mine down because I can't shoot well.
Yeah. Whenever I play a game like this, I feel like the environments and the setting tell the story almost as much as the dialogue and the characters. Talk a little bit about the setting and the decision behind where you put the game.
Some of it is natural, since we established pretty early that BJ and Anya was going to have twin daughters already in New Colossus. And when we decided to do a co-op game, it became, we of course, using the twin sisters make perfect sense, and that automatically then put us in the early 80s, because we want to, we want to tell a story about this transition between, story about growing up, the transition between adolescence and adulthood.
Yeah.
So the 1980s part of it became pretty much automatic, right?
Sorry.
And then the main reason for setting it in Paris is, of course, it's a European, a very cool town in general, a cool city, but it's also, of course, we are collaborating with Arcane Lyon in this game, so it's put some extra flavor to actually have a French developer working with this setting as well.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, I'm sorry for interrupting during that, but I started pulling a knife. I've seen stealth stab and stuff like that. But she put the knife in and like cut the person's like spine in half. I love it. Like, is there like a big variety of like visceral kills?
There are, absolutely, and of course they learn from their father, and he knows how to do it. But in this game, you can have a hatchet and a knife, so there are a lot of variation with both of these melee weapons.
With the choice to continue things with BJ and these being his daughters, what other characters can we look forward to seeing? Like, is it going to be very character-driven?
We have always, focused a lot on the characters in our games, and this is not an exception to that. It's but the main focus is of course on the twin sisters. But we do have BJ also play a role in this game. Where he's not completely out of the loop. And we also bring back some characters from New Colossus as well.
Okay, good. There's a couple I wouldn't mind seeing again, Now, was there when I saw like that very small snippet of like Old Man Blazkowicz, like he kind of reminded me of like Old Man Logan a little bit, like this grizzled warrior. Like when you see him, is he changed?
He is a bit changed. It's a bit. Even he is getting a bit older, but of course his body is still young since he is.
Right. Yeah.
He has a super soldier body now.
Right.
But he's been living now in outside in Texas, Mesquite for a long time now, and raising their daughters with a lot of love, of course, but also training them to become, very proficient in their Nazi killing skills. But he has aged, but he is still determined to rid the Nazis of the world.
Yeah. With these games, obviously.
Paris, Nazi country.
That's where Papa is, so that's where we're going.
We can find him together.
I may have an assignment suitable for two Nazi killers such as yourselves.
Stewardesses. Can't you just enjoy life for a second, Jess? It's so much worse than I thought.
We'll drive the Nazis out of Paris, just like Daddy did back home.
No phone calls, no letters. He just vanished.
My agents informed me that he left the country under a false identity about 4 weeks ago.
What the hell is this place? Codename Blackbird? Paris Catacombs?
That's your lead. He's in Paris.
If we say something, they aren't gonna do jack shit.
Well, I guess it's just up to us then. Let me show you something.
Whoa. It's do or die. Just like Daddy told us. Fuck yeah!
You guys are weird.
If BJ fucking Blazkowicz doesn't want to be found, no one on God's green earth that's gonna find his ass.
We got this shit, sis.
Fucking A.
Have you ever killed Nazis before?
We were born to kill Nazis. Yeah! Can we make it? How the fuck should I know?